Hey there, today I'm going to explain to you how you can train ChatGPT to write just like you. And in fact, today we're not going to try that on you because I don't know you, but I do know Justin Welsh. He's one of the most famous writers on LinkedIn. I really love how he writes. And so today what we're going to try to do together is to emulate his writing style. I guess many of you know him. And so this is also for you to be able to quickly identify if you believe the quality of output that we get to with the system is sufficient or not for you. So you'll be able to see if what I get as an output really sounds like Justin or not. Obviously, I'm going to try on different topics that he usually doesn't talk about to see how well that transposes to other topics. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Obviously, the goal here is not for you to emulate any big creator. I don't think that's a good option. I think the best way to do this is not to train it on somebody else's content, but on your own content that you've written yourself. The goal is obviously to have AI make us move faster and be more efficient in our jobs, but not to try to fake personalities. I think if you really want to succeed on social media, you need to be authentic. And so, yeah, this is just an exercise trying it out on Justin Welsh's content. But the best way to do this is to train it on your own content, your own posts, and that's where you're going to get the best results and have something that really sounds like you. And so also different from everybody else. So let's get right into it. To be honest, this is a pretty straightforward and simple thing to do, much more than many people might think. And so the only thing that you need to do is to go here. So first of all, you're obviously going to need a OpenAI API developer account, if I can say, totally free, very easy to do, no access or permission required. You're just going to create that on platform.openai.com. And you will need obviously to hook up like a payment method and all of that. But once you're in there, you'll get access to a tool called fine tuning, which basically allows you to fine tune how a certain model will answer you. And so for this, what we're going to have to do is provide that fine tuning tool with a bunch of prompts and outputs. And so I'll get to that in a minute, explaining exactly how you can do this and how you need to do it if you want the tool to be able to write like you. But yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. And once you provide that, the tool will then learn. It takes 10, 20, 30 minutes. It does take a lot of some time to really learn, but then the results are pretty impressive. So yeah, let's get right into it and let me explain how this works. So fine tuning, what do we need? We need a bunch of posts or content. I'm doing this with LinkedIn posts, but you could do it with tweets. You could do it with blog articles. You could do it with YouTube scripts, anything like that, anything you want to do. But I would do one type of content at a time. Basically what this is going to do, it's going to create a specific model that you will then be able to use here in the playground or with the API if you're hooking it up to any other tool or automation or whatever. So you could use it in automation tools like Make or stuff like that, where you have direct access through the API. But so then on top of your classic models like GPT-4o, you will then have your custom fine-tuned models here that only you have access to. And so that's how you're then going to be able to use them. And this is also where we're going to do our tests in a minute. So let's get back to how we do it. You go here in dashboard, you go to fine tuning. And when we want to create a new model, it's going to ask us for a .jsonl file. I'll explain in a minute how we get there. But basically, that's going to be a huge text file with all of the posts and also the prompts that created those posts. So this is how it works. And this is how I do it. First of all, the easiest thing to get access, like to get the content of the posts, is surely to install a Chrome extension like Taplio X, which is basically going to give you the best posts of that specific person or of yourself. If you're doing this on your own content, which I do recommend, but in this case, I want to do it on Justin's content. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open in new tabs a bunch of posts. And I'm not going to do this like in front of you manually post by post. But then basically the next thing that I am going to do is just copy the entire thing, go here in my Google Doc, and I'm going to paste each post in a new line. We'll go into the prompt column in a second. For the moment, what you want is just to gather a bunch of posts of content, ideally between at least 30, I would say. 50 to 100 is better, is much better. The more you give, the better it is. Don't need to go above 100. But ChatGPT recommends around 50 and up to 100 is really good examples. And so, I'm going to collect 30 to 50 posts of Justin. It goes faster than what you think. Like, I just took one here. It's basically copy pasting. So it is a little bit of work, but when you see the output that we get, I think it's going to be worth it. So stick with me. Let me now go through this and add a bunch of posts manually to the Google Sheet, and then you'll see how we get the prompts for the first column. Okay, so I've now accumulated 45 posts written by Justin Welsh. So that's a decent amount of content. And so now what we want to do is kind of imagine that Justin wrote these with AI and reverse engineer what prompt he would have written to get that post as an output. Because basically we can then train the AI saying, when you get this type of prompt, please output this. And we do that with the 45 posts, and it's going to start to understand, okay, so when it's asking me to write a LinkedIn post about X, this is what comes out. And so it's really going to understand with all of these examples, hey, here are all the common things from one to another. And it's really going to be able to embody and emulate the writing style that we're looking for. So in this case, Justin Welsh. So obviously we're not going to write these prompts by hand manually. That would be crazy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use AI to be able to reverse engineer these prompts. I'm not going to explain today how I integrated ChatGPT directly here in Google Sheets. If you are curious about how that happens, you basically need to use the native apps script thing here, extension from Google. You can just search online, integrate ChatGPT into Google Sheets with AppScript, and you'll find a very simple tutorial, and you can just replicate that. So I'm not going to do a tutorial about that today. However, I do have access to GPT. I can use a GPT command, and it's going to go and question GPT with my own API key, and that means I can use data that is here in the sheet in my prompts and queries to ChatGPT. So I'm basically going to reuse a prompt that I have right here. And you can read this. You can pause the video now and copy this. Basically, it's a pretty long prompt that asks AI to reverse engineer what prompt could have given that output, but also taking into account the fact that our AI will have knowledge about who we are, the story of Justin, his opinions, his thoughts, all of that. So it doesn't really need to add that to the prompt, because here I just want the simplest prompt possible. If I do want to later give more context about myself to the AI for a specific post, I can always do that. But in this case, I just want that prompt to be very simple. So normally, once I press enter, it's going to be loading, and it should output a very short prompt. In this case, write a LinkedIn post about the contrast between an ideal day and a typical day, emphasizing the importance of self-compassion and recognizing that success is a gradual journey. And so you see that obviously, if today you were to ask ChatGPT to do this, you would never get this as an output, because this is a very well-written and also creative LinkedIn post where you have this line in the middle, and before that it's like day 1, and here it's day 2, or it's like ideal day, typical day. like ChatGPT would never do that. That's much too creative, much too human. And so here we're going to train it on, this is the type of thing that I want you to output. Very specific task, write like Justin Welsh, basically. And so we're going to just do that. And now I'm just going to be able to expand this formula all the way across up until my 45th post here. And there you go. And now it's just going to write those prompts for every single post and reverse engineer. So for this one, for example, write a LinkedIn post about learning from other people's successes and using proven systems to achieve personal growth and business success. Again, try writing exactly that into Claude, ChatGPT, whatever. It's never going to come up with this type of output. It's never going to write such good hooks, etc., etc. So let's see now. I'm going to train ChatGPT based on this, and we're going to see what kind of output it gives us. So I hope it's clear until now. What we're going to do next is we're going to export this to a CSV just to make our life simpler. And then we're going to go here in ChatGPT. I'm just going to use GPT-4o mini because we really don't need much more and I want it to be fast. And I'm going to bring it our CSV with, so all of our prompts and all of our outputs. And I'm basically going to ask this. So I'm saying you're an administrative assistant and now you need to create a JSON-L file based on this long list of prompts and posts in the CSV file. And yeah, this is the type of the output that you need. All of this will be in the description so you can copy paste. But basically that's what we want. We want this exact format because that's what ChatGPT requires to do the fine training job. And so now I've uploaded this and I can just launch, and ChatGPT 4o mini is going to start just putting that together in the correct format. I'm not going to get lost in that. It really doesn't take that much time. And once it's ready, I'll be able to download that file. We'll give it to ChatGPT. We'll launch the training and we're pretty much done. So here you go. I have the data. I can download it. There you go. We go back to our fine tuning dashboard here. So again, I'm going to start from scratch. You go in your platform.openai.com developer account thing. You go to your dashboard, you go to fine tuning, you click on create. You can leave everything like this. You can choose GPT-4o because that's the base model we want to train. We want the smartest model possible. And then here we're going to drag and drop our JSON-L document. And that's all good. And I'm just going to call it Justin Welsh so I can easily identify it, and everything else, we leave it like that and we click on create. And there you go. So now you're going to have a new task going on. It's first going to validate the files to make sure that they are correctly formatted. This doesn't take too much time. And then basically you're going to see that it's working on it. And that can take some time. The first one I tried took like maybe even like an hour. The second one took like 10 minutes. So I don't really know if it's depending on how available the servers of OpenAI are or not. Maybe that's the case. But yeah, just leave it running in the background. To be honest, you can even close this window. It would still work. I'm going to leave it open. And once it's ready, I'll get back to you and we'll do some examples to see how good this really is. Okay, so here we see that it validated the files. So that took like 1 minute and now the fine tuning job has started. Okay, so here we are. The job succeeded and it took 12 minutes. So great, very efficient. And now we are good. And so we can go to the playground and we can select our latest model right here, Justin Welsh. And let's try asking it to write a LinkedIn post about the importance of fine-tuning AI to get the type of result you're looking for, especially when you're writing content. By the way, just to compare, I've done this with ChatGPT, and you can see here the post that it gave me. Pretty bad, really annoying. Yeah, all of the typical cliches about LinkedIn. Well, not even, to be honest. It's really bad. It's not good. The title is bad. Absolutely not the kind of thing that you see on LinkedIn. It's super robotic. Yeah, nothing amazing. Same thing with Claude, which is supposed to write better, and to be honest, it is a bit better. But still, like, what's this big title? Doesn't really feel like a hook. It's more human language, I would say, but still definitely doesn't feel like Justin Welsh, and not even an amazing LinkedIn post. It's good. It's better, much better than ChatGPT. But yeah. And so now let's see what ChatGPT wrote and how close it is to Justin Welsh's style. So don't let Gen AI fool you. The model isn't the magic. Fine tuning it is. Experiment with keywords and instructions until you get the results you want. Here's an example. Every single one of my courses include. Okay, so here it's funny because you do see what's going on. A lot of the posts had links to playbooks or his courses, and so it's trying to add those links here, which I think is pretty funny. So this tells me that I should definitely go back, remove maybe those links and call to actions. From the post, because now it's just trying to use that, which we don't really want. Okay, let's write a LinkedIn post about steps to become a solopreneur. There you go. This looks a lot like something that Justin could have written. I don't say it's as good, and obviously that's also where your input and your insights needs to be more than just saying the steps to become a solopreneur, because the content here might not be the best in the world. So I hope you liked this video. I hope this was useful and that you might want to try out doing this with your own content and your own posts to see how well it can replicate your writing style. Again, if you use the system message to add context and kind of a briefing about yourself, your personal brand, your story, your target audience, your key topics, et cetera, like your tone of voice, stuff like that, definitely will help. And then the second thing is to add more detail to your prompt than just say something like this. Like in this case, if I really wanted a better post, like with better content, I should give it the steps that I want to discuss in my post. But yeah, this was just about the writing style and emulating how somebody writes based on content that they wrote in the past. This is a great, quick, easy way to get ChatGPT to write just like you.